Watch this. Waiting on it to stop. He started screaming. So I'm at the police department. I did something I don't normally do on my way here. I kind of rehearsed what I was going to say, but now remote drone monitoring is in full effect, and I'm unable to access anything regarding that matter. I'm here to make a report, an incident report regarding them using me as a walking portal. The CIA are utilizing me as a walking portal, and that means that a portal is a bridge for something that exists in two places. So it's the whole my physical and then the clone. So anyhow, as you saw, or as you'll see in these videos, like they're blowing smoke through the portal. They're just blowing it through, and this technology is always precise. If they wanted to blow it out my fingertips, they could blow it out my fingertips, and it looked like smoke was coming out my fingertips. But since I was having a blackened mouth, they chose that my mouth was the most was the place that they were going to do it. And smoke just continues to come out and come out and come out for minutes and minutes and minutes at a time. I'm going to record this interaction because I want you to see how the officer responds. The officer at the desk responds to this matter. I'm going to show them the video of what's taking place and see what they have to say. Something that the CIA was talking about today, knowing that this was going to take place, is that they that these people were now going to know that I wasn't doing any of the things that they said I was doing. So okay, before I continue on with this video, I just want to reintroduce a couple of concepts that I have in the past, a couple of concepts and a couple of events that have taken place in the past, just to make sure you can better connect this information and what's taking place. The last photo that you just saw was a picture of quantum manifestation. So all that is a physical image of parallel reality. So you have what's going on over here in parallel reality, and then you have what's going on over here in reality. Some people are trying to link the two because in parallel reality, the dimension that they're in is so low that they're trying to build themselves up. So they do a lot of dirt there. They do a lot of deeds there to build themselves up and get to this desired result over here. Now, I said a lot of D's and a lot of, filth, a lot of filthy things. Now, I want you to understand something. A deed here, a deed in reality, may just be, someone, sabotaging someone at work, someone giving someone a higher than normal APR rate, someone rejecting someone from a job. These are things that advance them in parallel reality. They advance them, they get them out of their dimension. It gets them in a higher dimension in parallel reality. Um, so for people that are aware of that, that's what they're trying to do. They know that they're of this other world. They're extraterrestrials that have taken on flesh form, which means that they're in a body that's been possessed. They're borrowing a body and they're just trying to get, advance. Then you have, destruction, what the government wants to do. So they're like, this is what you're like in reality, but I want to get you to look like what I'm doing to you over here. So, you know, events over here might get a bit more extreme to get you to match up in reality. Hope that makes sense. Nanotechnology deals with dimensions. Told you we're all being chipped at birth. It not only serves as a tool for eugenics, DNA theft, but it also serves as a tool for dimensions, just vibrational frequencies, where you are, how you function, what you can and cannot attract or manifest. I told you early on when I returned home from California, I had indents in my back. And that was from them removing the heart from the clone. So, like, pretty much my entire life, I've been noticing strange things about people. I've been noticing that when I come in touch with white people, they were always um, listening to someone, and that was affecting their interactions with me. Um, so, like I told you, it was an extreme change with the dimensions thing. They went from being nice to like just suddenly everyone's being like, we're not paying this any mind. The clone. Okay, so whereas they remove other people's souls, and that's how you're able to change and affect the spirit. In my case, I'm the Holy Spirit. That means my spirit cannot be changed. So when this was done to me, it did not have a effect on my reality. So look, although I'm here and everyone can be in the lowest dimension, which means that they're going to be not pleasant, you know, possibly disrespectful, some odd stares, um, throwing things on the ground, whatever the case may be, although that's where they're at, because I'm not affected by that and my spirit can't be changed, or because my spirit can't be changed, I'm not affected by that. I don't, what I'm saying, come down to these lower dimensions, where everyone is. Like, sometimes you'll see people and they'll look different. because in other dimensions they don't look as pleasant. Sometimes they put these people in places where they're not supposed to be and their appearance change. A lot of you have people like this in your life. They don't look the same way all the time. They do not look the same way all the time. That's a reflection of dimensions and demon possession. So they removed the clone's heart so that it could serve as a possessed individual. A possessed individual is someone that's able to be programmed. You can program them to get them to act in the manner that you want them to act. You can suggest to them to get them to do the things that you want them to do. So that's what they're doing with my clone in parallel reality. My clone is doing some pretty filthy things. And these are the things that these people in those dimensions are witnessing. So when I show up in person, although it obviously conflicts with reality, you know, they still portray a certain or particular treatment. In parallel reality, you know, they removed the heart from the clone so that it doesn't act anything like me. It's more easily under suggestion. It has to. It serves as a possessed image of me, and they're able to pretty much program it to do anything. So it does stuff that, you know, I don't do. And these are the images that they're using to program those around me and how they respond to me. So they were saying now that these people are going to know that this wasn't true. They're also going to know that I've been telling the truth this entire time and no one's been looking into the claims. Something else that they did and that they used against me. I told you I was staying with a detective when I first got home in 2017, but just for a short while. It might have been a couple of days. I've seen him occasionally, like on 2 or 3 different occasions recently. 2 occasions recently. One from the bus and one while I was walking to the main library. He was riding by on a bike. Seen him. This morning, they created an orchestrated dream with me and him in it. So these are also images that they're taking from and giving to these people at the department to support the lies that they're telling them, to kind of get them to act in the way that they. So with that dream, they might show it to a female that finds him attractive, that he won't come on to, and that would affect how she interacts with me because I'm in the dream. One more thing I want to know is that I'm talking about the government attacking me. Every report that I've came and made is about the government attacking me, the government doing something to me that they were not supposed to do. For the nature of what I'm discussing, you'd expect to hear some scientific matters, you know, some scientific concepts. It's not that what I'm saying doesn't make sense. It's just that they automatically reject and refuse to acknowledge scientific matters. So that means I've had to explain the RFID chip implant and how it works. I've had to discuss nanotechnology with these officers. And when I discuss it thoroughly. So it's not that it doesn't make sense. It's just something that they didn't feel they had to acknowledge. Okay, a couple of things took place inside the police department. They kept stopping my videos, so I had to continue to try to, you know, make sure I was recording while this was going on. They also managed to do something that they don't normally do. They captured 2 different images. When I got done, I waited for the woman that gave me the complaint, gave me the board to fill out the complaint, to pretty much take me, you know, and get the incident report number. However, she sent me next to the officer next to her, and that's where the rejection took place. So that captures 2 completely different impressions. In one impression, it appears that I'm not being given a problem, not being given as much of a problem, and they're allowing me to make the incident report. But in the other one, it clearly shows rejection. This ties into the reactions that you'll see in the last video, or it just ties into the last video. Okay, it's unfortunate that I have to show you the video this way. I've tried to email it. I've tried to do what I could with what I have. But once again, this is how you'll have to see it. This is inside. Video of it that I have to see, but I want to make an incident report about it. I'm being attacked by the government. Yes. With nanotechnology, RFID chip implants, physics. So, but like I said, I have a video of pretty much an example of what they're doing, and I just want to report that incident. What happened right there was that went on for about a half a minute before I got the camera to start recording again. She asked me, what I wanted to report, and I said, I want to make an incident report about physics. And she said, I can't hear you. And I said, I want to make an incident report about physics because the government is attacking me. And she goes, I'm still not understanding. And so that's where it picks up. But she clearly chimes, this last time that I repeated myself, she stopped listening to me and she began to listen to them, and she didn't ask any more questions. She just handed me a clipboard. Sit down, have a seat on the bench, fill this out. Okay. What she did was she stopped listening to me and she started listening to them. She didn't want to see the video and decided that she was going to allow me to make a report. Okay, here's the next one. I'm handing it back. Standing in line waiting to hand it back. She told me that she'll take me over there. So she's reading it over. She reads it over about 3 times. When you say the government is attacking you, automatically it's like a chopping block. They cut that shit off. I asked her if she would like to see the video because she said she didn't understand. And she said no, she didn't want to see it. She said it's not criminal. It is criminal. It's a violation of the law. Totally. As soon as she seen me inhale the black and mild, she said, it's because you're smoking, man. I wouldn't watch anymore. 2 seconds. See that? So I began to explain what took place, and she wouldn't continue to watch. Well, something that you should know, you should know is that the government has been attacking me for some time. I've been fighting for about 2.5 years. police department will be under fire. Okay. Okay. The reason that I told her that little tidbit of information, because like I just explained to you before, they're under suggestion. They don't have any recollection of anything outside of, you know, the encounters that they need to have, the programs that they always watch. They don't have any recollection of reality. It's almost like reality and scientific concepts don't exist to them. So lately I've been dropping that, you know, just to see if something goes off, and it doesn't. Contrarily, what's taking place in Washington, what's taking place right here in Akron, Ohio, is two totally separate situations. What's taking place in Washington is a reflection of me and my fight. The only reason that's taking place in Washington is because of how I've been fighting. And what's taking place here in Akron is going to be much worse. For everyone that I've come across who's inquired who I am, they're giving updates on this matter. So when something like that happens at the police department, they're capturing this footage, this image of me being rejected and not being able to make the complaint. When I come into places, I see some of them look at me and look relieved. I see some of them look at me and they're just looking for my reaction or response. They're trying to get a read on my emotions and see whether or not I'm angered by it. And then there's others that make it blatant, you know, that they're happy about it and that they're pleased with what just took place. Okay, now I'm gonna do it from a different angle. I probably didn't even need to do that. I don't know where this smoke is coming from. Remember in another video I told you they were capturing the smoke? I recorded that, like I inhaled and nothing was coming out. I was laughing at what she just said to me. Last thing, just the mere fact that I'm even smoking a Black and Mild is like an indicator of what's taking place. As I said, in order to get things to match up, they do some pretty extreme things. So that means that the chemical stimuli and what type of cells that are associated with appetite, you know, may be under extreme attacks in order to get this to manifest. Since this has been going on, I've smoked more Black and Milds in 4 months than I've ever smoked in my entire life. I'm at roughly 89, somewhere in there. 100 is my max. And you know they're cheap. You can get like 3 for $1.49. Occasionally I have a stolen item, so I'll get a gift card for returning it at Walmart, and that's actually how I've been affording them lately. Prior to that, I hadn't smoked Black and Milds since probably 2013, and when I was smoking them in 2013, it was only when I was on the road, so that's by myself for, you know, extended period of time, and one would last me like for a very long time. Yeah, it's just not a habit. It's not something that I normally do. It's actually very rare. Yeah, but like I said, how they're attacking that clone in order to get the crave, not even the craving, because it's not a craving, but to get, you know, me in the mindset where I might not reject it as much, or whereas I've done so much or had so much going on in the day that I'd resort to it.